Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Wilds War Cry. I am Stephen Wilds, your host. Alright, this week there's really not a lot to talk about, but we'll go down the list. Here we go. TNA. It wasn't bad, it just wasn't interesting. And they're doing a lot of stuff that I think could really be interesting, and I'm enjoying Eric Young's title run. I just don't like some of the other stuff they're doing, and it kind of takes away. And for the first time in a while, I had this entire idea I was going to talk to you guys about. My subject for this week was going to be how TNA has too many heels currently. But that kind of fell apart. And honestly, it doesn't surprise me. And I don't think it really needs to be discussed that much. SmackDown, again, it's not bad. It's been kind of weak lately. And I will say that I end up fast-forwarding through a lot of SmackDown because it's a recap of Raw or video packages we've already seen. And lately, oh my god, switch up the opponents. There's just a ton of matches, at least one, usually two matches on Raw, or matches that were on SmackDown, or vice versa. I don't know if they just are trying to give people on-screen chances to work better and work out stuff with their opponents, let the wrestlers get a little bit better with each other, but whatever, just stop it. I didn't need to see Bo Dallas beat Sin Cara twice, although I think they're both great wrestlers. Give him someone else or do something else with it. It was pretty much the exact same outcome too. That was one of my, Sin Cara got in a little bit more offense, I think, on Raw, but other than that, I don't know why. Anyway, so moving on to Raw. I was really sad to see Brad Maddox go. The guy is a wrestler. I can't even really tell you if he's a very talented wrestler. Some of the few things I've seen from him, I was like, oh, he seems okay. But he wasn't given much of a chance to wrestle. They liked him better as an on-screen personality. Some of the stuff he did when he had the camera following him around and stuff like that was very funny. I love the end part of that with the Shield. I love when he was made general manager. It was almost kind of as a punishment. The person who made him general manager said it was what the people deserve. I think it was Vince McMahon. But the point with it is that I think he did a good job as a general manager. I like it when they leave someone as a general manager for a while and it's not constantly turning over. Like the same thing with champions. I hate it when there's some instances where the belt changing hands kind of quickly is okay, but for the most part, and like general manager, I would like to see some long-standing people. I'm interested to see who they put up. I've heard some rumors. I didn't really like any of the rumors I heard. I hope it'll be somebody fun. I don't even really have someone, that I could think of, except giving someone else who's already there, giving them a chance. Hell, make Yoshitatsu general manager. I don't care. As long as you do something interesting with it. The end part with the Shield versus Evolution, I like it. I'm going to watch it. It was an enjoyable part of the episode. I think my biggest problem with this is that Evolution really needs a win. They need to secure an actual win. Because so far, the only times they've really come out on top, they haven't won any of the 3-on-3 matches. They've won some of the singles stuff. But the only time they've really come out on top are with these random beatdowns. And I actually think that's just not enough. And maybe they're kind of overdoing the passing of the torch. And I think that's great that they want to pass the torch and make the Shield look. The Shield already, I think, had kind of cemented themselves as pretty main event people. But they're trying to do this and do it to them as a group, and that's better, I think, than breaking them up and then trying to do it individually. This is something that whatever career these three individuals have after the Shield as a unit, most people will still refer to them as a member of the Shield. And they're going to have, for several years, they're going to be able to ride pretty high off of this. But the other thing is, of course, that, we have the whole thing with Batista getting ready to leave, and just there are signs that really point to Evolution losing again. And I just don't know. Maybe if the feud's going to drop dead after this, if it's going to end right there, sure. But if they're planning on keeping it going at all, Evolution really needs a victory. Maybe they'll let Evolution have the victory and do something in the meantime. I've even heard a rumor, of course, and I think a lot of people have, that Evolution might actually add an extra member while Batista is gone, putting them back up to 4 whenever he comes back. And I don't know who you would add. Again, I have a couple of ideas. None of them that are good. How did El Torito and Hornswoggle get the kickoff show again? I'm not arguing it. Their last match was actually entertaining. The last kickoff match they did, the We LC match. God, I think it actually hurt to say that. However, I don't know. I really somebody said it on Twitter and I agreed with them. I really thought Big E and Rusev were going to get the kickoff match or whatever. Anyway, I am not hating on them. I think I've seen some really good and interesting micro wrestling. I don't say that with any sort of sarcasm whatsoever, but I don't think this is it. Okay, so the big winner for this Raw, I know a lot of people were talking about the last couple of Raws have really just not been that great, and I don't think it's that they're horrible. They've been a little bit below average. And the thing is, I think we're still coming off WrestleMania season, and they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're champion. They're having to be very careful with that right now. So I'm not hating on WWE right now, but I can't deny it wasn't great. The most interesting thing of the entire show to me were the Divas, and I'm going to explain why. Summer Rae versus Layla. I actually think somehow, and I honestly don't know how, they made me interested in this match. The whole thing with Fandango, who needs to be kept out of this. I had this horrible, horrible dream. Let me tell you about it. Fandango comes out in Layla's corner. Layla's about to have the match against Summer Rae. And then the Miz's music hits. And the Miz runs out, and he sides with Summer Rae, and then it becomes an intergender tag match. Now, I don't hate the Miz. I actually think the Miz has done some really cool stuff, and I think he's had a lot of adversity where he doesn't need it. However, I would really like for this match to stay between the girls. I would really like this match to stay heel versus heel, because Summer Rae is a heel, and I hope they're not turning her face. Again, I've heard some of the backstage rumors. If what I've heard is true, I actually don't think they will, because I think she's going to end back up with Fandango. However, I don't necessarily think that's the best idea. I think they've kind of built something interesting here, whether they meant to or not. I know they really were just giving her time off to go shoot the movie with The Miz, which unfortunately is what made me think that they may tie her back to him. But I'm really, really hoping that these two just kind of tear it down in the ring, have a decent match. I know Summer Rae's done some really interesting stuff in NXT. Layla's not a bad wrestler. She's fine. Both of them are obviously kind of nice to look at. I think they could really do something here, and I think they don't need to insert male wrestlers to make that happen. But speaking of the Divas and carrying on, of course, we have Alicia Fox, whom I've always thought was talented, and I've always thought was very cute. But, man, this crazy side or whatever she's doing, I keep thinking, oh, this is going to get old next time she does it. And it doesn't. The thing with the beer, I started calling her Stone Cold Foxy the other night. It's just, I don't know, it's funny. I love the way the announcers react to her. There's just something about it when Emma stole the victory. I was just kind of laughing because I was like, looking at this from an outside perspective, it actually looks like Alicia Fox might have a chance to win the title. Maybe not at Payback, but soon. It's almost like they're building her up for a big win. And I love Alicia Fox, but I like Paige a lot more. I have really enjoyed Paige's work through NXT. I think she has a lot to offer. Again, there have been a lot of backstage stuff about her being nervous and not prepared, and people worried about her because she is so young. I understand. I get it. I'm not going to say it would be bad if they let Alicia Fox take the title off Paige. I'm afraid that if they don't let Paige fill out her run and kind of get some work in so the fans can see what she can actually do, to give her a little bit more time in the spotlight, this is a very ridiculous kind of push that they did. They shouldn't have done this. I was telling somebody the other day, I think I was talking to Vicky Earls, I can't remember, but I was telling them how they should have put the belt on Natalya and let Natalya take it off of AJ Lee after her run, or after WrestleMania. And then, let Paige come in as a heel, be the upstart against the veteran, and let her eventually win it off of Natalya. Let her really earn it. Let the fans get behind her. I think that would have been a lot better. What they were going for, though, was kind of surprising. And, hey, AJ wants to take a break, but we didn't want to take it off of her in this, huge match. I understand that. I actually really hope this Alicia Fox thing and Paige continues until AJ Lee returns, because I would love to throw her in the mix for this. With the Divas, they don't get quite as much time. So anytime that you can insert more than just two Divas, I think you usually end up getting some better content, maybe not necessarily a better match, because maybe it's just me, but sometimes you get two Divas in the ring who just know what they're doing, and they're very good, and they tear it down, and they really are kind of impressive. But that's me. I know not everybody thinks that way. I also know that, some people don't like Alicia Fox. Some people don't like Paige. They don't think she can do anything. I don't feel that way. I definitely think there are some divas in the Divas division right now who are kind of just filling out space. And, I'd hate for anyone to lose their job if they're putting in work. As long as they're doing what they're supposed to do and they're putting in work. But there are several divas they could go ahead and get rid of right now and bring up some of these divas in NXT that are just impressive. And, I think we could have a much better Divas division. I'll put it that way. And I know WWE right now is pretty harsh on the Divas division, but whatever. My question of the week, and this is a serious question. I don't know why, but I said this to someone else and they laughed. And that resulted in us having a pretty intense conversation back and forth about this. Don't question it. But I actually told someone, or I asked them, I said, is it sad that I'm more interested in seeing AJ Lee come back than I am if CM Punk announced tomorrow that he was coming back? I would care more about when AJ was coming back. I'm more interested to see what she does when she comes back. And, just some basic... there's just more interest there. Punk coming back right now just wouldn't interest me, and I really don't care. But anyway, so my question for this week is, I guess, does that make me weird that I'm more interested in seeing AJ come back? I don't know. I don't think it does. Either way. So until next time, I'm Stephen Wiles. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video here or on the website on WrestlingNewsSource.com. And if you really want to, have a conversation about something I've said or yell at me for whatever reason, you can find me on Twitter under my name @StephenWiles. Thanks for listening.